Today it's greetings and felicitations as we take up the Squire of Gothos.
Compliance, the final frontier. Tom Fox is the voyager of trekking through compliance. His mission? To explore the original series and seek out and share what it can teach you about compliance. Here's your host, Tom Fox.
Episode 17, The Squire of Gothos, Stardate 2124.5. 8 days away from Colony Beta 6 on a supply delivering mission, the Enterprise encounters an unknown planet in Quadrant 904. Sulu and Kirk then vanish from the bridge and are presumed to have been transported to the planet. However, geophysicist Carl Jaeger reports that the planet has no soil or vegetation, but does possess an extremely hot and toxic atmosphere. The Enterprise then receives a message greetings and felicitations, followed by hip hip hooray Tallyho. McCoy, Navigator Dasal, and Jaeger beam down to find Sulu and Kirk, only to find that the planet's surface is lush and the atmosphere breathable. However, their communicators are inoperable. They discover a castle and are introduced to its occupant, the playful harpsichord-playing alien calling himself General Trelane, retired. Trelane amuses himself using machines with the ability to transform energy and matter, and has been making a study of Earth, and believes it to be as it was 900 years previously, the light travel time from his planet to Earth, that's light speed. Trelane insists they all stay, but Kirk and Dasal tried to stun him with a phaser. Trelane confiscates the phaser and amuses himself by vaporizing his statuaries. Bones' tricorder fails to register Trelane at all, and Jaeger notices that the fire is giving off no heat. Spock is able to beam them aboard the Enterprise by beaming up every life form in the area. Trelane is upset by this and puts an appearance on the bridge in, and quickly brings the landing party back to Gothos, this time including Spock, Uhura, and Yeoman Teresa Ross. Spock tells Trelane, I object to you, I object to intellect without discipline, I object to power without constructive purpose. Kirk notices that Trelane never strays far from a mirror and guesses the mirror hides the source of Trelane's power. Kirk therefore challenges Trelane to a duel, giving the impression that he is offended by Trelane's attentions to Yeoman Ross. He instead, however, uses the opportunity to destroy the mirror. Kirk's supposition is proved correct, and the landing party once again escapes to the Enterprise. However, as the Enterprise attempts to warp away, Gothos keeps appearing directly in its path. Kirk is forced to re-enter orbit and beams down to have it out with the Squire directly. Trelane becomes upset and condemns Kirk to death by hanging in a trial for the crimes of treason against a superior authority, conspiracy, and an attempt to foment insurrection. Kirk convinces Trelane that there is no sport in a simple slaying and manages to escape death in a deadly hide-and-seek game. In return, Trelane agrees to let the Enterprise go. Unfortunately, Trelane welches on his promise when Kirk wins the game and refuses to release the Enterprise. However, the wayward Trelane is finally taken away by his green energy form parents to be disciplined, and the Enterprise is released. So, what was some of the fun facts from this episode? Well, Trelane's words upon meeting Yeoman Ross were, quote, "Is this the face that launched 1,000 ships and burnt the topless towers of Ilium? Fair Helen, make me immortal with a kiss." Actually come from Christopher Marlowe's 17th century play, Dr. Faustus. So once again, a classical reference in Trek. They're filled throughout this, and it's something that makes, I think, Star Trek, the original series, quite a bit of fun. The Squire of Gothos brings up a theme that we see in other Star Trek episodes, which is aliens underestimating the crew because they expect the crew of the Enterprise to be as they were in the past. By doing this, however, it's a great science fiction trope because the aliens demonstrate how we used to be in the past. Trelane assumes that the crew of the Enterprise glorifies war and marginalizes women and non-Anglo cultures, and the crew basically says we put that all behind us, and the message is we're doing better than we did in the past, but we will do better, even better in the future. So we must go forward and cope with that future. So I thought that was an interesting message, because the script was written really as an anti-war script. I have to remember this came out during the 60s, so it's not too surprising that we would have an anti-war script. And William Campbell, the actor, a fine actor indeed, who plays Trelane, was viewed, or rather the role was viewed as that as an English fop. So I found that particularly interesting. Yet it really works in this situation, although the original choice for Trelane was Roddy McDowall, so no word or wonder about how things might go. But when Campbell showed up for his audition, he read one paragraph and nailed it, and he got the role. The episode also marks the first appearance of Michael Barrier as Lieutenant DeSalle. The character returns in 2 further episodes. So really a lot of interesting things in this episode. I know that when we get to the compliance takeaways, you will find those interesting as well. So what are some of the compliance lessons from the Squire of Gothos? He provides some interesting parallels to compliance challenges facing businesses in the modern world, not that from the time frame of Star Trek, the original series. Number 1, technological superiority versus ethical obligations. Trelane, the Squire of Gothos, possesses godlike technological abilities that far surpass the Enterprise crew. Similarly, large tech companies today often wield immense power and influence due to their advanced capabilities. Obviously, the compliance challenge is ensuring these technological superior entities act in an ethical and responsible manner, prioritizing stakeholder interest over unchecked power. 2, opulent distractions and concealed motives. Trelane enchants the crew with lavish hospitality and entertainment, obscuring his true sinister motives. Likewise, modern businesses may use extravagant perks, gifts, or entertainment to influence stakeholders and regulators. Compliance teams must look vigilantly beyond superficial charm and incentives to uncover hidden agendas or conflicts of interest. Number 3, asymmetry of information and control. Trelane holds all the cards in this episode with the ability to manipulate the environment and the crew's actions at will. Businesses today must also leverage information asymmetry and control over critical resources to gain unfair advantages. Effective compliance requires mechanisms to increase transparency, level the playing field, and ensure proper oversight and accountability. Number 4, adaptive, unpredictable adversaries. Trelane's behavior is erratic and unpredictable, forcing the crew to constantly adapt. Modern compliance challenges often involve sophisticated, shape-shifting threats such as cyber criminals or unscrupulous competitors. Compliance programs must be agile and highly responsive and capable of anticipating and mitigating a wide range of potential risks. Number 5, courage to speak power to truth. The Enterprise crew ultimately has to muster the courage to confront and outsmart Trelane, despite his overwhelming power. Likewise, compliance professionals may need to take a bold stand in speaking truth to power, particularly against influential, well-resourced organizations. Fostering a culture of integrity and empowering compliance and providing them with appropriate authority and support are crucial to meet these challenges. By drawing these parallels, compliance professionals can glean valuable insights from the Squire of Gothos to navigate the complex, literally ever-evolving world of compliance in the modern business world. I hope you will join us tomorrow when we have one of my personal favorites, the episode Arena, and of course that means Bobby Clark as the Gorn. Please join us tomorrow.
If you enjoyed this episode of Trekking Through Compliance, you can help it grow by sharing it with the biggest Trek fan you know.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.